welcome back to the channel. Rare Coins All World. Today, we're talking about a coin that many collectors might overlook, but with the right knowledge, it could be worth a small fortune. I'm talking about the 1980 Roosevelt dime. This seemingly simple coin could be hiding a secret that makes it more valuable than you'd expect. So, let's dive in and explore what makes this dime so special and why it's worth checking your change for one. Now, let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Designed by artist John R. Sinek, the coin's obverse features Roosevelt's portrait, while the reverse showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. The design is both timeless and meaningful, and it has remained on the dime for decades. But why should the 1980 version catch your attention? One of the things that makes the 1980 Roosevelt dime stand out from the rest of its series is its unique place in time. By 1980, the U.S. Mint had already been striking these coins for over 30 years, and in that time, the process had become highly refined. But the minting process isn't always flawless. In fact, errors do happen, and sometimes, those errors can make a coin incredibly valuable. Let's talk about what you should be looking for when hunting for a 1980 Roosevelt dime that could be worth more than just a dime. The first thing to note is that, in general, dimes from this era aren't considered particularly rare. However, what collectors are really after are those with unique characteristics, minting errors or coins in pristine condition that have survived over the decades. One of the most important factors to consider when determining the value of your 1980 Roosevelt dime is its condition. Coins that are in excellent condition, especially those with sharp, clear details and minimal wear, tend to fetch higher prices. The better the condition of the coin, the more it's worth. If you happen to come across a 1980 dime that looks like it just left the mint, you've got something special on your hands. But let's get to the fun part, the errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting things in coin collecting because they can make a seemingly ordinary coin incredibly valuable. With the 1980 Roosevelt dime, there are a few errors to be aware of that could make your coin worth thousands of dollars. One of the most common errors to look for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin isn't aligned properly, causing the design to appear off-center. This can result in part of the coin's design being cut off, or some of the design being misshaped. While these off-center errors might seem like imperfections, they are actually highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity. If you find a 1980 Roosevelt dime with this error, you could have a valuable piece in your hands. Another error to look out for is the double die variety. Double dies occur when the coin is struck twice, and the second strike results in a slight shift in the image. This can cause parts of the design to appear doubled, particularly the letters or numbers. If you look closely at the "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" inscription on your 1980 Roosevelt dime and notice that the lettering appears doubled or blurry, you may have found a double die error. Double dies are highly coveted by coin collectors, so it's worth taking the time to inspect the details of your coin. Another valuable error to keep an eye out for is the repunched mint mark. This happens when the mint mark is stamped more than once, causing a faint second mint mark to appear. The 1980 Roosevelt dime was minted in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and some of the coins minted at the Denver mint may feature a repunched mint mark. If you find a 1980 dime with this type of error, it could significantly increase its value. So, how do you spot one of these rare and valuable dimes? The key is to look closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the details of the coin. Pay close attention to the lettering, the mint mark, and the alignment of the design. If you spot any abnormalities, like off-center strikes, doubling, or repunched mint marks, you could be looking at a coin that is worth far more than just 10 cents. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1980 Roosevelt dime can be worth. The value really depends on the condition and any errors the coin may have. A typical 1980 Roosevelt dime in average condition is worth only a few cents above face value, but if you find one that's in mint condition or features a rare error, the value can skyrocket. In fact, Some of the most valuable 1980 Roosevelt dimes with minting errors have been known to fetch as much as $35,000, yes, that's right, $35,000 for a single dime. That's the potential value of a rare, error-filled 1980 Roosevelt dime. Imagine finding that hidden treasure in your change or while sorting through a coin collection. It's a real possibility, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Today, we're about to take a deep dive into a coin that might seem like just another regular dime at first glance, but don't be fooled, it could be hiding a treasure worth thousands of dollars. We're talking about the 1987 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime with a specific mint mark that could make it worth much more than you might expect. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed by just how much this coin could be worth in today's market. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, was created to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. The coin was designed by artist John R. Sinek, and it features the iconic image of Roosevelt on the obverse. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, all representing liberty, peace, and strength, symbols that resonate deeply with American ideals. But what makes the 1987 Roosevelt dime unique? Well, for starters, it's important to remember that the United States switched from silver coins to copper-nickel coins starting in 1965. However, there was still a small number of special coins produced with silver during the 1980s, and that's where things get interesting. While most 1987 dimes were made with a copper-nickel blend, a few dimes were minted in silver, either by mistake or due to special minting circumstances. These rare silver dimes are where the true value lies. Now, let's talk about why the 1987 Roosevelt silver dime stands out. The truth is, finding a silver dime from this era is extremely rare, which makes it highly coveted by collectors. Most dimes from 1987 were made with a copper-nickel alloy, which means they don't contain silver. But during that time, there were occasional minting errors where some dimes were struck with silver, and these are the coins you'll want to look out for. Even though the silver content in these coins is lower than what you would find in older dimes, the rarity and error in the minting process make them highly desirable. When it comes to coin collecting, there's a big difference between an ordinary coin and one that has been well preserved or contains something unique, like silver. The value of a 1987 Roosevelt silver dime, especially if it has been well kept in uncirculated or near perfect condition, is significantly higher than that of a standard dime. If you happen to find a 1987 Roosevelt dime in exceptional condition, with no wear and tear, it could command a pretty impressive price, but the condition of the coin is just the beginning. The mint mark also plays a crucial role in determining value. For the 1987 Roosevelt dime, coins with certain mint marks, such as the D mint mark for the Denver Mint or the S mint mark for the San Francisco Mint, can be more sought after. But if you find a 1987 dime without any mint mark, or if it has an unusual minting flaw, then it could truly be a rare gem. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins that contain unique features, whether it's a particular mint mark, an off-center strike, or even a misprint. These types of errors make a coin one of a kind, and they can dramatically increase the coin's value. Even in the case of the 1987 Roosevelt silver dime, some error versions, like those with an incorrectly stamped mint mark or an unusual strike, can be worth much more than the average coin from the same year. So, here's the big question: just how much could a 1987 Roosevelt silver dime be worth if you happen to find one with silver content, an error, or in pristine condition? Well, if you've got a rare 1987 silver dime, especially one that is in great shape or has a minting error, you could be looking at a value of up to $90,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $90,000 for a single dime. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that most people would never think twice about. It just goes to show how valuable rare coins can be, especially when they come with an interesting backstory or are part of a limited production. If you happen to have a 1987 Roosevelt dime tucked away in your collection or come across one in your spare change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You never know, you could be holding a coin that could change your life. The Roosevelt dime has long been a beloved coin in American history, with its iconic design and timeless appeal. But there's one particular year that holds a significant place in the world of numismatics, the 1965 Roosevelt 1 dime with a special mint mark. This coin may seem like just another dime at first glance, but once you delve deeper, you'll discover that it's a treasure that can hold immense value, making it a highly sought-after item among collectors. To understand why the 1965 Roosevelt dime is so valuable, we need to take a step back and look at the coin's history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, designed by John R. Sinek to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. The coin quickly became a staple of American currency, with its simple yet elegant design, featuring the profile of Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. It's a coin that's been circulated for decades, but not all Roosevelt dimes are created equally, especially when you consider rare and unique variants like the 1965 version. In 1965, a significant shift occurred in U.S. coinage. The government decided to change the composition of the dimes, replacing the silver content with a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. While this was done to cut costs, the shift in material wasn't the only noteworthy change. The minting process during that year also led to a rare set of coins with certain minting errors, making them highly collectible today. One of the key features that sets the 1965 Roosevelt dime apart is the unique mint mark. The mint mark, located on the reverse side of the coin, tells you where the coin was produced. The mint mark can be D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. In 1965, the Philadelphia Mint struck coins without a mint mark, while the Denver and San Francisco mints produced coins with their respective marks. However, certain rare errors occurred during the minting process that led to unique varieties of this coin, particularly with the mint marks. Coins with unique errors, such as doubled mint marks or incorrect placement of the mint mark, can be extremely valuable in the numismatic world. These errors often make the coin stand out as a rare anomaly, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar to add these treasures to their collections. Even a coin that may look almost identical to others can end up having a significantly higher price tag if it contains a rare mint mark error, but that's not all. Another reason the 1965 Roosevelt dime is highly sought after is its condition. Coin collectors know that the grade of a coin, the measure of how well it's been preserved, has a huge impact on its value. A coin in excellent condition, with minimal wear and no signs of damage, will be worth far more than a coin that's been worn down or tarnished over time. The 1965 Roosevelt dime, especially one that has been graded highly by professionals, can fetch a much higher price than you'd expect for a regular dime. Now, let's talk about the financial aspect. While most 1965 Roosevelt dimes may be worth only a few dollars, those with special mint marks or rare errors can skyrocket in value. The combination of rarity, mint mark anomalies, and pristine condition can turn this dime into a serious investment. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1965 Roosevelt dime with the right combination of factors, it could be worth an astounding $45,000. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and one of the most fascinating pieces in this world is the Roosevelt 1 dime from 1975. At first glance, it may seem like just another dime, part of the endless sea of change that passes through your hands daily. But if you take a closer look, you'll quickly realize that this particular coin holds a special place in numismatic history. The 1975 Roosevelt dime, especially with a rare mint mark or in excellent condition, is a coin that can be worth much more than its face value, making it a prized possession for collectors and investors alike. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946, designed by John R. Sinek in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. The dime's design has remained largely unchanged over the decades, with Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse symbolizing peace, unity, and strength. The coin has circulated through American hands for decades, yet certain years and mint marks of this coin are rarer than others, particularly the 1975 issue. Why does the 1975 Roosevelt dime catch the eye of collectors? To understand this, we must first examine the minting process of that year. During 1975, the U.S. Mint struck millions of dimes to meet the demand for currency. However, there were subtle variations that occurred during the minting process that made some coins stand out. These variations could be due to mint errors, changes in the die used for striking, or even slight shifts in the way the mint marks were applied. These small differences can make certain coins, like the 1975 Roosevelt dime, more valuable than others. The mint mark on the coin plays a critical role in its value. Coins minted in different locations around the U.S. carry different mint marks. The D stands for the Denver Mint, the P for the Philadelphia Mint, and the S for the San Francisco Mint. While the 1975 Roosevelt dime was primarily produced in Denver and Philadelphia, it's the specific details and conditions of these coins that can make them more desirable. Some rare variations, such as a doubled mint mark or certain die breaks, can elevate the value of a seemingly common coin like the 1975 Roosevelt dime. Coin collectors know that condition is everything. A coin that has been kept in pristine condition, with little to no wear, can be worth far more than one that has been heavily circulated. For the 1975 Roosevelt dime, a coin in perfect, uncirculated condition could fetch a much higher price, especially if it features one of those rare mint mark variations. The most valuable 1975 dimes are those that have been carefully preserved, graded by professional coin graders, and verified to have no significant imperfections. Another factor that contributes to the value of the 1975 Roosevelt dime is its historical significance. While it may not be the oldest or most famous coin in U.S. history, its connection to a pivotal moment in time, and its status as part of a widely circulated series, makes it a symbol of both American history and culture. Coins from the 1970s are often seen as significant relics from a bygone era, and collectors often seek these coins to complete their collections. As with most rare coins, the value of the 1975 Roosevelt dime is largely influenced by supply and demand. While many of these coins are still in circulation, the number of high-quality, rare 1975 dimes is limited. The more collectors desire a coin, the higher the price they're willing to pay. For a coin to command top dollar, it must be a unique specimen, whether due to its rare mint mark, minting error, or superior condition. So, what is the true value of the 1975 Roosevelt dime? You might be surprised to learn that this coin, with the right combination of rarity, condition, and mint mark, can fetch a hefty price on the open market. While most 1975 dimes are worth just a few cents, some of the rarest examples have been known to sell for a staggering $50,000. Yes, you read that right, $50,000 for a single dime. Today, we're diving into the world of one of the most iconic and potentially valuable coins you might have in your collection, the United States Roosevelt Silver 1 dime from 1967. While the Roosevelt dime is a well-known coin, today we're going to focus on the rarest of the rare, particularly the ones from 1967 with silver content. You won't want to miss this, because by the end of this video, you'll find out just how much this coin could be worth if you have one in your possession. First, let's talk a bit about the Roosevelt dime's history. Introduced in 1946 to honor the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, this coin has been a staple in American currency ever since. Designed by John R. Sinnock, the Roosevelt dime features a profile of President Roosevelt on the obverse side, and on the reverse, we see a design with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. It's a simple, yet powerful design that's remained beloved by collectors for decades, but the real story here is about the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime. While most people know that U.S. coins transitioned from using silver to copper-nickel in 1965, what most don't realize is that there were still some special issues of dimes made with silver content that year, specifically for proof coin sets. The regular circulating dimes produced in 1967 were made with a copper-nickel blend, but for a limited number of coins minted for collectors, silver was still used, making these particular dimes a valuable find. The key to understanding the value of the 1967 Roosevelt dime lies in the fact that it was one of the final years that silver was used for regular and proof coinage in the United States. In 1965, the U.S. government made a decision to stop minting coins with silver due to rising silver prices, but it wasn't until 1967 that all circulating dimes switched to the copper-nickel blend. However, there were still some special proof sets produced that year that featured the Roosevelt dime in silver. So why is this important? Well, most of the 1967 dimes you come across will have been produced using the standard copper-nickel alloy, meaning they don't contain silver. But a small portion of dimes from that year, particularly those from proof sets, were still struck in 90% silver, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find a 1967 dime with silver content, it's definitely a coin worth taking a closer look at, because its value could be far higher than a regular dime. Now, let's get into the importance of coin condition. Just like any other collectible, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. The 1967 Roosevelt dime, especially one with silver content, can be worth a lot more if it is in mint or uncirculated condition. Dimes that have been in circulation for years may show signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, or dullness. However, if you can find one that is still in excellent shape, especially one that has been well preserved in a proof set or kept away from wear and tear, that coin's value skyrockets. But it's not just about the silver content or condition. The mint mark on the coin also holds value. In 1967, the U.S. Mint produced dimes at multiple facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, Denver Mint, and San Francisco Mint. Dimes from the San Francisco Mint, often identified with an S mint mark, were the ones typically included in proof sets, and it's these particular dimes that are most likely to be made from silver. The key difference here is that the S mint mark dimes are far rarer than the ones produced without a mint mark, which were from Philadelphia. Collectors are always looking for these rarer coins, and that makes a 1967 Roosevelt dime with an S mint mark even more valuable. Now, you might be wondering, just how much can this rare silver dime from 1967 be worth? If you've got a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime, especially one that has been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition or is part of a proof set, you could be looking at a coin that's worth a significant amount. On the high end, a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime could fetch up to $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a single dime. It's incredible how a coin that was once used for everyday purchases could now be worth such an astonishing sum. The rarity of the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime, combined with its silver content and unique mint mark, makes it a highly desirable piece for serious collectors. So, if you've got a collection of old coins or have inherited a stash of change, it might be time to take a closer look at any 1967 dimes you've got tucked away. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. So, if you found this video helpful and exciting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more valuable coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your coin hunting. Happy collecting!